Hello everyone. Today we will see how you can fetch contacts from your phone book. And to do that, let me first show you my contacts in my emulator. So there are two contacts that I have, Jane Austen and John Doe. And now I'll show you the app that I've made. This app is basically a very simple app which has got a list view. This will show all the contacts. So the two contacts which you saw there, they had two numbers. The numbers were 123 and 1234. So two contacts are there. The names are not showing up, but you can see the numbers at least. And of course, if you want, you can also start showing up names here. Once we discuss the app, how we have made it, you will understand how you can do that, right? So let's begin the discussion. As you can see, there is a list view here. This is a layout that you need to make, and there's only one activity that is required, and that's main activity here. And this is the layout. The layout has a list view. I have given it an ID, and that's it. And then before that, let me also take you to the manifest. There is some emulator problem that has happened. Nothing to worry, because I've already shown you how the app works. So now this is the intent filter that is there, normal intent filter, and there is this permission that you need to give. So this permission is read contacts. You need to give this permission. And now let's start discussing the main activity. So what does this main activity actually do? So what I've done is I have created a list view reference here, and then there is a list reference here of type string. Name is lst contacts. So this is an array list which has been created, but these are just the starting points. Now we have defined the reference lv has been defined here, and now it is an object. As you can see, there's the same ID which was there in activity underscore main. After that, we have used content resolver here. Content resolver is an abstract class. We have created a reference of it, and then we have equated it with the get content resolver. Get content resolver returns an instance of content resolver which you can use. If we may fetch documentation of get content resolver, we will get to know that get content resolver is actually returning us an instance of content resolver which you can use to get content from the other apps of Android. So get content resolver will get us an instance for content resolver which we will be using. Cursor is also being used here because once we get inside a database, or once we get inside a table where all the data is stored, we'll have to traverse the data, go through that data. For that, we're using cursor object here, cur, named as cur, and content resolver is cr.query. We are calling a method query on cr object, and contacts.content URI. This is what you have to provide as an input argument. In case you're stuck somewhere, you can just get all the documentation. So content URI is basically it's a variable final, not a variable, it's a constant final. And this basically the content URI for this table. So this basically is going to fetch you the URI for the table that you are currently dealing with. And once you are and this table that you are dealing with is contacts table, right? So like similarly, there are different tables that are available inside Android. So right now we will be dealing with contacts table. What we are doing is we are getting count of all the data that is present. So in our case, it's going to be only 2 records, but I'm sure in your phones, or for that matter in anybody's phone, it's a huge number. So we are checking if it is greater than 0. Only then we want the cur, that is the cursor, to move to next. This will return boolean cur dot move to next. So it returns boolean, and we start getting the ID of where the cursor is right now. We get column index here, and then we are gradually we are moving forward to get names also, although we did not display the names, but like you can see here, you can display the names also, right? So we got the name here, and then what we're doing is we are trying to find out that a particular contact on which the cursor is right now, does it have a phone number or not? Because if you are an Android user, you know that whenever you create a new contact, putting a number there is not a mandatory task, right? So if there is a number, in that case, and that number is going to get will be stored like a string, right? It would be stored like a string only in Android. So we are calling parseInt on that string so that we can fetch the integer out of it, and then we are checking if it's greater than 0. In case it is greater than 0, in that case only we are going to now put a query on this. We are creating another cursor here, and then because we have entered that particular data, that record, now we have to traverse that record and find out the exact number, the phone number, right? So till now, till this step, we have reached a particular record in the table, and now that record's number we need. So what we will do is we will this is how we are getting that number. We are storing it as a string here, and before that you can see that we have also put let me remove this because this will confuse you. So uh, we have reached the record here, and then we are now traversing that one particular record. So you can visualize this thing in this way, that there was a vertical there were vertical records. There was a table which had a lot of records in it, a lot of rows in it, and now in one particular row we are going to find out one particular contact, sorry, the number of that contact. So this is how you find the number. As you can see here, we have phone dot number, and then if you remember, I had created an array list here, lst contacts here, and now we're going to add that number into this array list, right? So we added X here, and that is what we have done. Then we created an array adapter instance here, and we have put that array that entire list here, which gets created after we have added all the contacts that are there in the contact of the phone. Finally, we set the adapter, and then we close the cursor. That's a good practice to do whenever you have a cursor. Whenever you use a cursor, close it before you exit the app, right? So this line will set the entire list on the layout which was here, and this layout has a list view. So this list view now contains the entire list that needs to be shown. So that's how we made this app. There's nothing else to discuss here. Just remember that you have to add permissions here, and because we have not explicitly mentioned how to actually get the permission from the user, what you will have to do is, once you run this app, you will have to go and give permissions on your own. If you want, I can also add some code here which automatically generates a dialog box and asks the user to give the permission, but with the paucity of time, I don't think it will be possible today. Do let me know in comments if you want that. Do let me know if you would like to have the entire code of this app in case you need it. So that's it. Please subscribe to the channel and like it and share it with your friends. Thank you so much. Bye bye.